Girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight, we are reviewing Married to Medicine. Child, I don't know which episode we on, but honey, all I can say is it's Sunday night and we don't have any Real Housewives of Atlanta. Thank you. So, honey, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. If you are new here, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Like this video at the end if you get anything out of it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Child, let's get into it. So when the episode first opens up, we see Dr. Jackie in her element with the patient, as usual. We see Contessa sitting with her babies, talking to them about all that little lying they like to do. And then we see Anila talking to her daughter about being a blogger. And Dr. Karen is like, no, ma'am. She will be in a building with four walls making a paycheck. But listen, Dr. Karen, honey, bloggers make good money too. Now, I don't know what kind of negotiating Anila was doing a little later with Lisa Nicole, but everybody ain't made for college. I'm just saying, honey. And we'll see that with Dr. Simone's son a little later. And then we see Toya pretending to clean. Girl, if you don't go and put that sponge down somewhere, child, probably don't even know your way around the kitchen. Did they hand you that sponge when you went in there or what? So she was like, she asked Dr. Eugene because he came walking in his scrubs because y'all know poor Dr. Eugene. All he does is work. So he came walking in. She's like, you want to eat? He said, nah, I'm just tired. She gonna say, you just about to leave to go to work. How you going to be tired when you leaving to go to work? He said, I worked last night. Toya, he has a full-time job as an ER doctor. It's called work. We know it's pretty hard to grasp the concept, honey, but he's working, okay? People get tired when they work. We know you don't do much, so you can't relate. But, I mean, it actually does take energy to work and help people and cure people of diseases and help people that come into the emergency room in the midnight hour. Girl, anyway, then you got to come home and fry the bacon up in a pan that he just brought home. Child, so you can play tennis all day long. Girl, gone. Anyway, child. So they talk a bit about their son's personality changing, but, you know, Toya says he's being secretive. Well, that happens when they get a little older, child. They don't want you in their business. I know me. I don't want mama nowhere in my business, okay? Once I became almost a teenager, I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. What's going on? Nothing. How was school? Fine. Honey, that's all you getting. And I'm trying to grasp myself for when my baby gets older and he's like, I'm fine. Everything's good. Child, I'm going to lose my mind. So anyway, she says she's happy they're back in school. She said, you know, people are really jealous of me because my life is back to normal. I get to focus on Toya. Child, when do you not focus on Toya? That's all you do. Toya, I'm starting to think you might be a little delusional, girl. I'm serious. Like something is really wrong with you, honey. But go off, sis. So then she says, you know, I get to play a little tennis and I just feel liberated. Like I just came out of the closet. Girl, okay, child, let's just move forward, child. Now, as far as her and the ladies, she says she can't say because she's tired of arguing, right? Because, you know, her and the ladies have been getting into all type of arguments, but the common denominator is Toya, okay? Because since episode 1, she came out guns blazing, starting mess and hollering and all that, honey. We tired of y'all arguing as well. She's like, I'm tired of us arguing. So are we. The feeling is mutual. I wish y'all would cut that out, honey. It's getting ridiculous. Then the boys come downstairs and she's going over their odd numbers with the oldest. I think that's the oldest, or it might be the youngest. It's one of them. So she's talking to her son about odd numbers, right? And he got an answer wrong. So she said, I need you to let your mind think before your mouth speaks. Girl, he just mimicking what his mama does. You know they say your children emulate everything you do. Honey, that's one of those do as I say and not as I do type of things. Toya, girl, I'm not finna play with you. And then she was like, I have a friend named Heavenly that does that. Honey, touche, but still, okay? All y'all do that. So don't be telling him things that you need to be telling yourself. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, we go over to Dr. Simone's house and we see her and Miles and they're going over all things being an adult. She wants to check on his budgeting and etc. All this good stuff, okay? And so she was asking him about his savings, right? So he was like, well, you know, I have about $3,000 saved up, a little bit under, a little bit over. Is it 3,000 or what is it, Miles? Oh my goodness, honey. But that's better than some adults. So I'm not even going to talk too bad about you, honey, because there's some adults that don't even have $3,000 saved up, honey. The pandemic had a lot of people in shock. I'm just saying. So Simone says, you know, my goal is for him to go to school and get a degree and then spread his wings. But this is my thing. A couple of years back, I say circa 2001, I felt like, go to school, get a degree, get a job, live happily ever after, white picket fence, have a few kids, work until you die. Today's date, I'm like, girl, if you don't do it for yourself, open your own business, spread your wings. If your children don't want to go to college, but they have a solid plan and you're able to help them in starting something that is their own so that they don't get in this rat race called corporate America, working to create wealth for your Amazon. What's the guy's name who owns Amazon, for your Amazon men and your Elon Musk? Like, come on, child. Honey, if he can do it without actually going to school, then honey, I'm all for it. Because listen, college is not for everyone. And I have learned that. Now, don't get me wrong. I graduated with my degree. But had I not, that would have been fine too. And if my son comes to me and says, Mom, you know what? I don't think college is for me. I have a plan. I want to do this, that, and the third. Then I'm good with that, honey. But we have to have a plan, okay? No blueprint. You got to go to school. I'm just saying. So then he says, so she was saying she wanted him to spread his wings. So then he said, I'm going to take my dad with me. Oh, so I guess he's closer to the dad and Miles is closer to Simone. That is so cute. So she said, you think you're going to take my husband with you? He said, well, he paying for it. She said, we are not paying for your apartment. He said, oh, okay, well, then I'm staying here. Child, y'all gonna have a long road ahead with Miles, okay? Simone basically said Miles is grown, but she wants him to be self-sufficient, as she should. Honey, Cecil said not so much. Over with Anila, we see her going to visit Lisa Nicole Cloud at her showroom. Okay, Lisa Nicole, still got the showroom up and whatnot. Okay, She by Sheree, this is how it's done. She actually asked, believed, and received. Honey, there's something tangible there. We can see these materials, honey. We can see these dresses hanging on these racks. Sheree, now if they do bring you back for Real Housewives of Atlanta, the one thing I want you to do is produce one item of clothing from She by Sheree. We have been talking about this since 2006. Okay, don't think I forgot. Anyway, so she goes over to the showroom, right? One thing I got to say about Lisa is I appreciate you, Lisa, because you never gave up, child. Never gave up. So Anila said, I'm there to talk to Lisa about my blogging, and me blogging some of her clothes. So then Anila was trying on some clothes, right? One of them being a pink thong bikini. Now, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Y'all already know. Honey, I hope you purchased that because that is a yuck. Okay, just sitting up trying on clothes all up in between your whatnots and your crevices and not paying for them and taking them on home. Taking them and putting them back on the rack during the middle of a pandemic. And even if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, I think that is disgusting. This is the thing. I don't think you should be allowed to try on bras, underwear, and bathing suits. If you can't eye it and say I want to try it or I want to buy it, then you don't need it. Child, y'all need to put that up in the stores. You eye it, you buy it. Do not try on nothing in here. That is so nasty. Oh my goodness. So anyway, so Anila said, her and Lisa were talking and she was like, you look beautiful in some of my things. And she's like, look, if you really want me to help, I can blog. My IG posts are 400 for one picture. That's permanent. Okay. And for the stories, it's 200. Lisa said, sold for 200, Alex. Lisa said, I can't pay the 4. I ain't going to be able to pay the 4, but I can pay the 2. Okay, honey, got a little negotiation going. You got one story. Okay, that's $200. And now that others of us out here know how much you charge, now that's letting the people know we can go to Anila and I can get my YouTube channel put up in your stories for $200. Thank you for the information. So we see Lisa and they're talking, right? And she's asking her about how she thought the party went and asking her about what's going on with her and Toya. She said, I just feel like Toya bullies me. And so Lisa said, look, I know exactly how you feel. Why Lisa always looks sleepy? I just want to stop right there. Lisa always looks like she's about to just go into La La Land. Lisa, if you don't open your eyes up, child. Anyway, so Quad calls Anila while she's sitting there with Lisa, right? And so she's like, hey, girl, or whatever. And she's like, what are you doing? And so Lisa starts whispering, does she know I'm here? No, she doesn't know you're here. She doesn't know she's over there, child. So Anila said, well, I'm with Lisa. Quad said, oh, hell to the no. Because y'all already know that Quad and Lisa got into it. See, Quad wasn't expecting to get what she got from Lisa. Y'all remember when they had that sit down? And now see, Paige, this is how you do a sit down right here. So she had that sit down with Quad, and she thought they was gonna be going toe to toe because they thought Lisa was meek and mild, not knowing all the little sleepy look, honey. She ready to pop off at any moment. So they're talking, and she's like, "What about your lesbian relationship, B, with Mariah?" And child, when she said that, then she said something about Darren, honey. Lisa grabbed that glass and doused Quad so good, honey. Quad was not expecting to get Moscato all up and through her good wig, honey. I was like, oh my God, honey. Lisa done threw that wine on this woman. So anyway, they show us a few of the flashbacks, right? And so Quad said, I just want to invite you to my party because, I'm having a gathering with the ladies. We want to have some drinks, some food, and some fun. So Lisa goes, am I invited too? Child, that was brave of her to ask, because I wouldn't ask nothing. I would have just been sitting there like, child, let me wait for you to get off this phone. So Quad said, I don't know, Lisa. Should I invite you or not? And she said, well, we could just let bygones be bygones and start over if that's good with you. It's up to you. She said, I'll invite the both of you. So Lisa said, sounds good. Lisa, you invited yourself to this woman's house. Child, I couldn't do that. This is my thing. If a person wants you somewhere, they're going to extend the invite. I'm not about to ask you. I'm not about to hint that maybe I want to go. Like, Either you invite me or I'm not showing up, child. So, Lisa, you invited yourself. Quad just didn't want to be mean to you on camera. Those are my thoughts. Because I feel like, why would you ask her if you're invited knowing your history? Child, you wouldn't have been up in my house after you done doused my good wig in Moscato. Girl, gone. Over at the Metcalfs, we're at the office with Dr. Contessa, and she's saying that the office is finally open, and she loves that her new practice, she can have more control over it. Because you know how when you go to the doctor, it's not like you can really build a relationship with them because they get you in, out, and on with your life. But with her business and her practice, her and Scott, she feels like she's going to be able to connect more with her patients. And I love it, honey. A black doctor. Yes, ma'am. I'm almost ready to go down to Atlanta, child, just to get me some health care. So Scott comes in and Contessa asks him to hook up her edges. Now, at first I was thinking, is he about to give her Botox? That's exactly what I was thinking when she said hook up her edges, because when she had looked up, I saw a little crinkle. So I'm like, okay, maybe she does Botox, right? But then she said she actually was born with thin edges, so PRP helps to promote hair growth. And I'm like, not PRP, girl, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. She said, platelet-rich plasma. She said, it's not cheap, but, since Scott is doing it, it's going to be free. Child, I just learned something new. Instead of all these girls going to get a BBL, they need to go get money to get them a PRP. Still 3 initials, okay? But something that you can use, child. Girl, child. Not the PRP. Listen, Dr. Contessa, you done told these people, because I know, it's certain age groups and certain age ranges that don't watch Married to Medicine. But if we could get PRP out there like we got BBL out there, girl, the girls can stop wearing the lace fronts in the summertime. Child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So she said you take someone's blood, you separate it and add it to their plasma, and then you inject it. Child, my mouth was wide open. I said, not platelet rich. What is it? Child, because I just can't get over how you can just inject something and make your edges grow back. Not the secret to life. Platelet rich plasma. Child, y'all better get into it. Catch it. Contessa starts telling Scott, how overwhelmed she is as he's injecting her edges and whatnot. Okay. So, doing a little magic grow. And so she's laying there and she's like telling him, I feel so overwhelmed with the kids and everything I have to do around the house. I just feel overwhelmed. Child, Scott ain't even listening to her. He would get on my nerves because he's so checked out. Like, at least try. He doesn't even try. So Scott was like, she was like, are you listening to me? He said, yeah, I'm listening to you. But as a man, I just feel like if we got a business together and we signed to get a lease, I'm thinking everything's good. Scott, that's some bull. Everything's not good. I'm sure y'all were arguing up until the time you signed that lease. Probably were arguing about where to sign on the lease. I'm signing my name first. Now you signing it. So stop acting like you thought that put a Band-Aid on this child. Gone. So Scott said, I don't want to go to, she was like, well, I think we need to go to therapy because I feel like that would be a great thing for us, right? So then Scott was like, well, I don't want to be finger pointing. You did this and you did that. She said, no, that's what I need to know because you don't tell me anything that I do. So how am I going to change it if I don't know I'm doing anything wrong? So he said, I can't tell you all that without therapy. Child, Scott ain't willing to put in no work. Child, he wants y'all to fail. That's just my assessment of this. Because if you really want your marriage to work, the first thing you will be doing is at least trying. You can go to therapy. Okay, you've gone before and it didn't work out. Maybe that therapist wasn't for you. Maybe you need to get another therapist that you would be comfortable with. But don't just leave your wife out there to dry. And Contessa, stop all that nagging and complaining and belittling him and emasculating him. And you, Dr. Scott, stop acting like you want her barefoot and pregnant. You don't like her drive. Sometimes when I watch you and I listen to the things that she wants to accomplish, like she wants to be the Surgeon General, okay? Baby, if that ain't drive for you, I don't know what is. He didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that she was going to school. Now he wants her to stay home and homeschool the kids. She's a whole doctor. Scott would just get on my nerves. I just don't know how she could do it, honey. So then, they're talking to the producers, right? So the producers were like, if she asks you enough, will that convince you to go to therapy? So he was like, I'm sick of this ish. So she was like, see, this is what I'm saying. So why don't you just tell them out there that you're sick of it? So she was like, look, I'll go to the therapy by myself and then you won't go and then nothing will change. He was like, I'll go. Okay, so that's a start. I don't know if he's telling the truth or what he's doing, but child, just take him at face value, I guess, and hopefully y'all will go. Over at Quad's house, she's setting up for the party together with one of her chef friends, okay? And it's equipped with recipes from Quad's cookbook, honey, because y'all know she gonna throw that in anytime she can, honey. Go ahead and mark it for yourself, child. Candy do it all the time. So they're coming to Quad's quarantine club. She says she has a place, child, that's 4,000 square feet with an elevator and a terrace on the 4th floor. Girl, I know that's right, honey. She said she wanted to invite Toya so she could see her BS apartment. I know that's right, honey. Invite her over so she could see what I was doing. So Simone goes to meet with Dr. Jackie to get ready for the party. It was so good to see them back together, y'all. I was like, okay, Simone is really, she's really trying. She done went on over to that. She missed Jackie. She couldn't wait to find a reason to get back to Jackie, even though it's not all the way back. She went over there as opposed to Heavenly going to meet Dr. Jackie. So it seems like things are on the up and up. So they go into Dr. Jackie's closet. So Simone said, oh, I love your closet. She said, I do too. No, Dr. Jackie, you need to say thank you. I hate people that can't take a compliment. Or maybe that's just me. I feel like if I give you a compliment, you need to say thank you. Like, I don't know. It's just something about that. And I teach my son that too. Because sometimes I'll say, baby, that was so good. Great job. And he'll say, I know. No, that's just wrong to me. I feel like you should say thank you. Because that's someone taking their time out to recognize something good. So I just didn't like that part. But I mean, maybe it's just me, child. So they talk about how it may be tonight when they go to the party. So, they're talking. And then they start talking about Tequila Toya. Honey, I gave her a new name. I know we call her Tacky Toya, but now I'm calling her Tequila Toya. Because if all you do is carry around Patron and a solo cup in your purse everywhere you go, like the Kim Zolciak of Married to Medicine, then, therefore, and thus and such, you will now be deemed Tequila Toya. So they was like, Toya has been in a bad mood lately. But this is the thing. If Toya leave that Patron alone, she will be fine. So Simone said, Toya just feels like no one is ever happy for her. Then Dr. Jackie was like, well, Toya has to take some accountability as well. I know that's right, because Toya is always acting up in arms and acting a fool every time she goes to someone's residence, bringing all these strays with her, and then she acts like the victim, hollers, gets loud, go over to the men, and then she exits stage left. No, that's embarrassing. Child, nobody want to be around a person that is always acting up. It's just ridiculous. Over at Toya's house, she's getting ready, right? So, she said she has some fond memories with the ladies, some good times, and she hoped they can get back there. Well, if you want to get back there, you're going to have to do some introspective work, okay? Because it's going to start from within. You got to, and put that bottle down. I feel like if you stop with all the alcohol, you would have a sober mind enough to be able to make sound choices. I feel like it's the alcohol, girl. So the girls start arriving at Quads, right? So Anila comes in, maskless, honey, as I thought she would. Get sprayed with Lysol, as she should. Okay, because if you coming up in my house from the outside, we're going to spray you down. Do you understand me? You're getting sprayed down. Heavenly and the other lady start to arrive, right, y'all? So Contessa asks, about how they arrived. She was like, did y'all arrive around the same time? And so Heavenly was like, yeah, me and Anita, we came together. She said, we really like Anita. Contessa... Not, not Anita. Heavenly. Girl, gather your mind. Contessa said, but her name is Anila, though, not Anita. Honey, Anita, pipe up. Child, don't let Heavenly call you by the wrong name. See, this way you went wrong with Toya. You just let people say and do whatever they want to say and do. This was your time to speak your speech and say, girl, my name is Anila. Girl, child, just a mess. Well, and Contessa, child, you remember you used to be Contessa. So we'll just let that go, child. Heavenly ain't gonna say nobody's name right. She be trying to pick at people and trying to be funny, child. You know that lady's name is Anila. So then everybody comes in, Quad got a little nice spread out. Honey, I would have been eating, child. It was some good looking food out there. Do you hear me? I was like, yes, but I'm a greedy person and I'm a foodie. So to me, honey, you can keep the alcohol and all that. Where is the food? Point me in the direction of the cupcakes. I'm just saying. So Quad says, we're going to do a little dance contest. And as she's saying that, Toya and this season accessory, honey, Carrie, they arrive. Toya keep bringing this lady everywhere she goes. So Toya comes in to this lady's home and does not acknowledge her. Then has the nerve to have a guest in tow. Child, Quad kept it real cute, but honey, listen to me. I would have addressed her immediately. Do you understand me? I would have been like, Toya, do you not see me standing here, honey? I didn't sleep with you last night. I invited you into my home. You speak. Second of all, who invited Carrie? Child, it couldn't have been me. But honey, look, they got more sense than I got, child, because I would have addressed her right away. Toya don't have no manners or no home training. It's just ridiculous. When you enter a person's home, you speak and you don't bring uninvited guests. This is like your millionth time doing that. So Anila was like, Toya was ghosting me. Child, she was ghosting the host too, honey. It's nothing different. So Quad said, hey, Carrie, I haven't seen you in forever. I wasn't aware that you were coming. So Carrie was like, I hope that we can get past it, because I never really got to know you. We never really got to know each other. So Quad was like, oh, yep, that's true. And so then she proceeds to say, and I have one of these homes that is as an investment, but yours has an elevator and mine's doesn't. Quad said, yeah, that's about a $30,000 difference. Yes, Quad, baby. That's how you clear the girls, okay? Baby, clear Carrie right on up. Honey, don't come in here trying to shine on me in my house. Child, anyway. So Quad calls them up because remember she said that she had chosen groups for them to come up and do this little dance, right? So Quad calls up the Golden Girls plus Toya, and they have to incorporate a twerk. Quad shows them a move, honey. It wasn't given what it needed to be gave, but okay. They start working on the choreography, and then Heavenly talking about, I'm going to carry the girls to victory, honey. I'm going to drop down and get my eagle on, girl. Okay, Nelly. And then they start to do their dance. Child, all that wagging, Toya dragging, and can't do nothing with it, honey. A waste. Okay? Team B consists of Anila, Lisa Nicole, Contessa, and Carrie. Okay? So they get up, Anila and her sister, Lisa Nicole. Don't they look like sisters? Or is that just me? They just look so much alike to me. Anyway, they get up and they start doing their little dance. To me, I feel like they did better than the other team. And they did their little dance or whatever. So Quad ended up saying that the Golden Girls featuring Toya, they won. They go upstairs to the fourth floor, but Contessa says she wants to go see the sleep number, right? Carrie once again laying on somebody's bed with her outside clothes on. But Quad was being nice, honey, because I would have cussed them out. So she was like, let me usher y'all on upstairs, child. So upstairs, Toya tells Dr. Jackie, you always seem to be in your own world. She was like, it works. She said, well, not for this group. Toya, I know it's weird seeing someone not in everyone else's business and not always involved in mess, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. I want that lady to be involved in stuff she ain't got nothing to do with. So Simone said, explain to Jackie why you always grumpy around the other ladies, because I couldn't. So the other ladies started coming in, right? So she was like, I'll just talk about it later. So Contessa said, I'm so happy Toya's here. And I thought that was strange because I'm like, Contessa, I thought you and Toya didn't like each other. Y'all just got through hollering last episode. Okay. Oh, but okay, girl. So Quad said, I gave her the option and I understood if she needed to think about it, but I knew she had never been to my home and I wanted to change that. Nah, girl, honey, no ma'am. You wanted to stun on Toya and show her your BS apartment. Quiet as it's kept, honey. Let's just call a spade a spade. So Carrie said, well, I'm here because she hasn't felt support from the other ladies. Carrie, shut up and sit back, honey. So then Heavenly said, well, Toya talk about everybody's house, including yours, child. Oh, child, honey. Oh, heavenly. Heavenly, no. Toya said, why you jumping in? She said, well, I can only be silent for so long. Heavenly, you didn't need to say that. Girl, y'all are all getting along and everything. Don't kill the vibe. That's just crazy. So Heavenly said, you want me to pull out the receipts? No, nobody wants you to pull out the receipts. Shout out to Everyday Husband Quotes. I actually watched that channel. Love it. So then Toya said, when she joined Cecil's live, she was tipsy. Honey, no wonder her and Portia friends, they will blame it on the goose in a minute. And you know what I just realized, y'all? Cecil always involved in some mess. He talked too much. He got too much mess going on. That's how the mess got started between Simone and Heavenly. Cecil, you need to find something else to do. So Toya said, well, this isn't an apartment. And Quad said, well, this is the only place I've lived. So I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. Then they start screaming at each other. Thank God for the shields because I know it was spit flying everywhere. Toya, you need to take accountability for your actions and apologize. So they screaming and Toya says, I'll leave step. This is a motherfucking apartment. So then Quad said, she's faker than a mannequin. Tell that bee to stand in a corner and pose because she's a mannequin. Child, not the mannequin challenge. Okay, let's move forward. Child, they crazy. So Heavenly just started the mess, and now she's sitting upstairs, sitting back, talking about, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Honey, yes, you do. Quad got this information from you. Heavenly, I like you, child, but you wrong. You dead wrong on this one. Toya gets outside and she starts crying, honey. Save the drama for your mama, because you always doing something and speaking your speech on something you have no business doing, and then you want to cry. So Simone said, well, I can see you're hurt. She's like, I'm not hurt, okay? I'm mad. You're not mad or hurt. You're drunk, as usual, okay? So Quad is upstairs and she's like, if she would have just apologized, things would have been cool. So Contessa was like, I feel bad for her. I need to go check on her. So Contessa, that was really nice of you, Contessa. It really shows your character. And I always did like Contessa. It's a lot of people that don't like her, but I actually like her. She was saying she realizes that that Toya is going through a lot. So she just want to go check on her because she doesn't want her to have to go through it alone. But Toya gonna have to leave that drink alone. So Contessa said, I don't have no shoes on. So my heart in the right place, child. Contessa, that's how you got that COVID. Go get your shoes on. There are nasties and yuckies on the ground, girl. So Toya said, Anila claimed to be my friend. Why is she still in there? Well, Toya, let's see. You treat her like crap. You talk to her like she crazy. You walked in, paid her dust. You spoke to the person sitting directly next to her. But then you want her to come outside and make sure you're okay. And while we're talking about friends, didn't you bring Carrie, aka the accessory? And she didn't come outside to see if you were okay. Contessa, who you've been cussing out for the past 2 seasons, she came outside to make sure you were okay. Okay, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. Like, are you crazy? You think this lady is supposed to run behind you like a little puppy after the way you treated her? Child, then Toya got in that car and left Carrie right at that party. I'm like, oh, what a friend. So they all upstairs. And they talking about how Toya must be going through something. Yes, she is going through something. She's going through a bottle of Patron a day or a bottle of wine. That's what she's going through, honey, and I'm not changing it. So Simone said, child, I'm getting the stories mixed up, honey. Not Portia, Simon, honey. So Simone said, Quad, don't let other people gas you up, aka Heavenly. Don't let Heavenly put a battery in your back and then sit back, child, talking about she want to smoke cigars, okay? She said, last year you were going through stuff as well. So they did a little flashback. And Quad said, well, I'm not about to yell at you or argue with you, so I don't understand what you're saying. So Quad, she was just basically saying that Quad doesn't know when somebody has some light shade and they say it, how it might bring somebody all the way below deck. I'm like, child, please leave below deck out of this mess, honey. Captain Lee don't want nothing to do with y'all in this mess that y'all got going on, how y'all be hooping and hollering every 5 minutes, child. And then that concluded the episode. The episode was actually really good to me, but you know what I'm getting tired of? Okay, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. I am tired of seeing them all get together and just yell at each other and argue. There has got to be some substance somewhere. And it just now dawned on me that for 8 seasons, I have watched them gather in one place and yell at each other. And I'm tired. Okay, so let's get it together or leave it alone. Child, if you like this video, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, comment down below. I love to read your comments and get in there and kiki with you. We have a good time. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.